Hi there, it's Susan Hansen with our StressBusterSeries.com. Today we have Evan Jensen, and he is a health and wellness copywriter, personal trainer, and ultra marathon runner. He's written for brands like Health IQ, UFC Gym, FitLife, MuscleBox, WellSource, and many more. He holds the record for the most finishes at the Mountain Lakes 100-mile ultra marathon in Oregon. And he helps people train to run far, be strong, and keep going from a 5K to marathon and beyond. Well, welcome. Welcome, Evan. We're really happy to have you today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you very much.
Good. So let me just ask you, have you always been a runner? Like, how did you get started with the running?
No, I haven't always been a runner. And one thing that's interesting when I think about that is I actually grew up in a house I have great parents, but I grew up in a house with obese parents and ate fast food and microwave meals and lots of treats. That was my diet growing up. And it's not like when I was a teenager, I thought, maybe this isn't the best way to do this. And that's when I started thinking about health and fitness a little bit differently than kind of the example my parents had set. And so I knew like some friends who were cross-country runners, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But I wasn't a high school runner or anything like that. Then I had a college friend who talked a lot of smack about running the St. George Marathon in Utah. And I was finally like, it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. And so I told my friend, hey, I'm going to run a marathon because you've been talking it up a lot, and it can't be that hard. So it's been like probably 20 years ago, I ran my first marathon.
And what was that like compared to what you thought it was going to be like?
Yeah, that's a good question because it was a lot harder than I thought. My training for it, I wasn't really sure I was doing it right. I missed a lot of days that I probably should have been running. And that first marathon, I ran way too fast. And so really started to shut down late in the race. Started getting really sick to my stomach and cramping. And I made it to the finish, but I threw up a bunch and felt really terrible.
Yeah, I have seen that at the end of marathons, yes. And how long was that one?
Well, that was traditional marathon, 26.2 miles. And it took me, I don't know, like around 4 hours.
And so when you were doing that, let's talk about, we know that physically it's very grueling, but let's talk about your mental, your mindset, and how did you get through that mentally when you started to get into trouble? Like, how did you persevere? What did you tell yourself? What was your self-talk?
Well, at the time I was really inexperienced, so it wasn't very good self-talk. The thing that was most interesting is that around 20 miles, this guy wearing a Boston Marathon shirt came up behind me, and he saw I was really suffering, and he said, come on, man, you can't just sit there. Just follow me to the finish. And he said, just think about it like a 10K. Just think about it like a short race. That's all you've got left. And so I followed this guy for 6 miles, and I struggled to keep up. But having that guy ahead of me and that little bit of encouragement really kept me going.
Right. And so you just really, what he's saying is take the big goal and break it down into smaller ones, right?
Yeah, absolutely. After 20 years of running marathons and ultras, that makes a lot more sense now.
So what do you tell yourself now, like when you're doing the ultra marathons? So what do you tell yourself? How do you break that up?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is just like experience has like added a lot of self-confidence to be able to run far.
Okay.
But even now, any race can be hard. Any condition can be hard, even a short run. And so
Mm,
one of the things that I just tell myself is like one foot in front of the other.
mm,
Just keep going.
right.
There's no problem if you have to walk for a while.
Mm,
Just do a little bit at a time.
right. Yes, and I think in life we tend to do that to ourselves, don't we? We just take it all on and think we have to do it all at once or be everything when, and it's okay to, give ourselves permission to take some downtime. For you it's walking in the marathon, but with us, we just get so into the groove of working in this and that and that. It's like, I used to say, don't gyp yourself, GYP, give yourself permission, to slow down, sit down, do nothing, sit down, have a cup of coffee or a beer or something, just chill, right? No, like in our Western
Yeah,
society, that's, doing nothing is frowned upon when it's actually very productive from time to time, just as long as you're not doing it all the time, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, so taking that big goal, breaking it down, that's a great answer. Okay. Well, tomorrow on session 2 of 5, this is a 5-session series. Evan's going to talk to us about how running an ultra marathon helped him build his mental health and what is an ultra marathon. Okay, thanks very much, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.
Okay.